if you're looking for an analysis that's all about where you're going to want to sell those Ethereum bags, you've come to the right place, as we're talking about today's video. We are going to explore 5 different technical models that could show the ideal spot for unloading those ETH bags, slamming the sell on Vitalik coin, and walking away with the money. That's the plan. And this is going to be a chart-heavy video, so strap in. We've got a lot of good stuff. Let's start off with the good old-fashioned Fibonacci extensions. So, measured from last cycle's peak to the following market bottom, you can see here that the 1.618, 2.618, and 3.618, and the 4.236 Fibonacci lines coming in at $7,300, $11,300, $15,300, and $17,700 would be the top peak number you could possibly expect for ETH this cycle. We are back to last cycle's previous all-time highs. Nice feeling. That's 1 on the chart. So the Fibonacci extension analysis therefore says we still have a lot more upside to go. The price target for the monster multi-year triangle that ETH just broke out of. This is an incredibly significant chart pattern. And which multi-year triangle am I talking about? This one. This one, look right here at this chart. So, since November 2021, Ethereum's price has been coiling up inside of this big fat bad boy. And we just got the breakout after a failed attempt back in December that caught us all off guard. Yeah, December. Anyway, the good news, these triangle breakouts have technical price targets. So when we measure the bottom to the top of this triangle at its tallest point, and then we project out from there, where do we go? Well, we project out from where the price broke out above the triangle, we get a technical price target at $8,000. So you'll notice the 1.618 Fibonacci line at $7,300 and the multi-year triangle price target are close enough, let's say. And that's my kind of guess for the next big local peak for ETH, probably somewhere around there. Anyway, third, the harmonic butterfly analysis. He's doing the harmonic butterfly analysis stuff again. This comes from the Elliott wave theory. Before we dive into that, guys, you need a good exchange to trade ETH or betas like Pepe or Athena or dog coins or whatever. Check out Femex. They're giving insane cashback deals right now, and it's a very limited time offer. In fact, it expires in just a couple of days, so you better hop on board. You deposit $1,000, you're getting $200 back. Deposit $10,999 cash back. $15K deposited, $1,299 cash back money. That's nuts. If that's not crazy enough, when you use link exclusively right down here, okay, 50% off your spot trading fees, 40% off your futures fees. That's crazy stuff, man. These are big fee discounts. If you're a big trader, you trade a lot, you know how much that adds up. And these are great bonuses to sign up with as well. Femex is a proven exchange, and it works anywhere in the world. You're probably anywhere in the world, so it probably works for you. You might need a VPN in some cases, okay? Just FYI. Link down below. Again, very limited time offer, expires in a couple days, so you better hop on board. Let's get back to this butterfly thing. Now, Ethereum began forming its harmonic butterfly starting at the 2021 price peak, which is our X point on the chart. This pattern has continued all the way to the C point, which is where ETH bottomed just below $1,400 in April. Man, ETH has just been a kick in the nuts this cycle, hasn't it? It's been crazy. Anyway, if we extend our D point out so that it's lower range of this harmonic butterfly, well, that puts ETH's price at 5.8K by the end of the year. However, if we extend the D point to the higher range of this harmonic butterfly, then guess what? That puts us at $7,300. There it is again. There it is again. More overlap. Okay, Fibonacci extensions, triangle breakout. It's all telling us similar targets here. Now again, that's all in factoring the upper range of the harmonic butterfly pattern. Let's see what happens in reality. We'll find out. Now, fourth, the Wyckoff. I know what you're thinking. Gotta stop Wyckoffing in the tool shed all the time. Anyway, used to Wyckoff a lot when I was anyway, that's a different story. So, Wyckoff accumulation and re-accumulation phases. Now, this one comes from Ted Pillows Over on X. Basically, the idea is that smart money was heavily accumulating ETH in 2022 and in 2023, and they have been kicked in the balls for years. Those guys are ready to make money. So when ETH was trading between $9,000 and $2,000 price range, a lot of ETH was bought. Now, when that accumulation zone finally broke to the upside, guess what? Ethereum entered into a re-accumulation zone in 2024. That was between $2,000 and $4,000. So if we then measure the height of this most recent re-accumulation zone and project it upwards, guess what? That, according to Mr. Pillows here, gets us to around $6,000 ETH in Q4. not too far off our Fibonacci target, is it? And last but not least, the ascending resistance. This one's very simple. ETH has formed this ascending resistance on the chart. Now, based on the 2 prior peaks. So if we project that resistance out to the end of this year and assume that ETH will once again touch this line, that then gets us to $8,600 Ethereum. The sum of all of these different price targets, around $7,300. Interesting. So the big question in today's video, where to sell, meaning at what specific price or range? Well, just from looking at everything we've looked at here, from an objective perspective, not trying to put on too much of a moon boy hat here, somewhere between 7,300 and 8,000 something price range is probably going to be a decent spot to take some profits. Okay, we got a lot of overlap in that range. Now, can we push up to the higher price targets on the Fibonacci's? Absolutely. But in terms of a next local peak, that seems like a real good area to be targeting. The triangle breakout price target comes in there, the upper range of the Harmonic Butterfly, ascending resistance, everything's kind of lining up in that area for a next local peak. So if you're selling ETH in that price range, well, maybe a relatively smart move according to the charts. There's a lot of technical factors that support that as a great price target for an Ethereum trade. Now, we're going through all this stuff pretty fast. I'd like to bring in as well the monthly MACD just for a quick moment here. This is just something for us to think about in terms of cycle top timing. You see, everything that we just discussed, it all had to do with hard price targets. But again, the MACD gets to the timing part. Now, you can see that in the last cycle, when the MACD really starts kicking off and ramping up, it took around 245 days for the MACD to peak, which also coincided with last cycle's price peak. Now, take a good look here, because where are we currently at with regards to the monthly MACD? Well, it looks like it's ramping up again, similar to how it started in the last cycle. So if we assume it's going to take the MACD, let's say roughly the same amount of time, 8 months, to top out this time, just like it did in the last cycle, then that projects an ETH cycle peak time, the top coming in around the beginning of April 2026, which has confluence with those who've been calling for Q2 2026 to be the final peak of the market. That's interesting. Global M2 and stuff like that kind of lines up around there. And maybe it goes a little longer because the digital asset treasury company's buying. So you say June, for example, but just, interesting. It's technically past the 4-year cycle by a few months. But ETH tends to overshoot a little bit anyway. It's not so far away, though, that we can really call it an extended cycle either. That's just something to think about in terms of timing here, okay? Anyways, 7.3K, 8.6K, that's the next local peak. In terms of pushing up to 15K, it's possible. It's definitely possible this cycle. The technicals are telling us that 7.3 to 8K zone, though, probably a great place to take some profits. Now, you can wait. You can try to run it the whole way up to 15K, but you might sell it at 7.5, rebuy at 4. And then sell it at 15. Maybe. Easier said than done, obviously. But a lot of the technicals are pointing to that being a very good range for taking at least some profits on ETH. But let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you think that's a great spot to take some money off the table on ETH? Or are you're all in, man? You're going 20K or nothing. That's what you want for your ETH. Let me know. Hit me up down below with your comment. Thanks for watching.